Op 16, 17 en 18 september staat er weer iets nieuws te gebeuren. Glue TV, live hier vanuit Amsterdam Tower.
Welcome back. Now we're going to talk to Golnar Roshan, who's one half of the Rive Roshan gallery here in Amsterdam. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So you haven't been in Amsterdam for long.
Yeah, well, I moved here originally 10 years ago, 2011, but we left a year after I came. And then, yes, about in 2017, we came back to Amsterdam and set up our studio here.
Interesting timing.
Yes.
So where had you been? You'd been in London.
Yeah, so we left... in 2012 we moved to London, and we both worked for some different designers while we were there. You know, got some experience, but also really became a part of that pulsating city. You know, it was the time of the London Olympics when we moved. So, yeah, it was a very vibrant city to be in. And we made friends with creatives, and gradually we felt inspired to start making our own work. Made some friends at the Royal College of Art, and then we started a collective, started exhibiting our work in Milan and London and different places. So that's how we just started.
So when the studio moved from London to Amsterdam, did it get bigger? Did it change? Or was it just really, at that moment, was it just about transplanting?
Yeah, it was actually, we were actually starting to become quite settled in the London scene. We had actually found ourselves a really nice live-work space in the north of London. And it was an old furniture factory, so we were really happy to have all this space. We had people coming in, helping, working for us. But then I think when the Brexit referendum happened, for me, it was less of an impact, but Ruben, who's Dutch, European, for him, it had quite an emotional resonance in a way. So he started to think, I'm not sure it's a good idea we stick around. Things are going to get very unsettled. He's usually quite good at predicting these things. So then, soon after, we just planned to come back. And he's from Amsterdam anyway. So for us, it wasn't a big move. It was just coming back to where Ruben is from, and then and actually we moved to a much smaller space when we came here, but now we're sort of settling a bit, and we've just moved to the east of Amsterdam. We have a nice big space that's on exhibition at Glue as well.
Right. It is interesting though with Brexit, because you did read a lot about how creatives would leave, both creative brands but also individual creatives, and so you're a prime example of that. Just getting nervous and unsure and just thinking maybe it's best.
Yeah, I think so. It's like all of the European friends that we had actually went back to their homes, or a lot of people also came back to Amsterdam that we knew who were there. I think maybe just feeling unsettled and unsure made people want to go, and there was definitely a bit of a depressing vibe, especially between the referendum and Brexit actually happening. People didn't go out anymore. People didn't want to spend their money anymore. Mm-hmm. That's how I saw it. Maybe other people saw it differently, but we really felt the impact.
And having a studio in London versus having a studio in Amsterdam, how does it work differently?
Yeah. Well, I think both cities are very creative, and they have creative support in different ways. What I love about Amsterdam is there's a lot of resources for creative industries and studios, and a lot of organizations who are willing from an entrepreneurial perspective to help designers thrive or grow. I think that's really helped us a lot. I really value that. I actually come from Australia originally, from Sydney. So I don't feel that we really have that kind of support. If you want to be an entrepreneur in the creative field, I think it's much harder to do it in other places than, I think there's a lot more.
That also says a lot, though, about this event, only in its second year, Glue.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic way to get to know and get to understand better creatives in this city. I mean, you think about design and you hear about design, you read about design, we work in design, but I've often found people that come to Amsterdam, they don't know how to access it, they don't know where you go to see Dutch design, like they don't know where to buy it, they don't know where to explore it. So this is a really fantastic initiative to try and help clear up that uncertainty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Amsterdam really needed something like Glue because, you know, the Eindhoven scene has Dutch Design Week and people can go there and explore it. And although Glue's only 2 years old, I think the vision of the organization is really great because there are so many creative companies in Amsterdam, but I don't know why, but for some reason people don't connect and they don't know about each other. So I think it's a good way of bringing people together and networking.
So it's fantastic for an audience to come and visit your studio during Glue to see your works, especially the way you sort of tread the divide between art and design. But maybe you'd like to mention a little bit one of your newest projects in the canal houses, a canal house in Amsterdam.
Yeah, sure. Yes, so we were actually commissioned to create a space for a company called Milton in an old canal house, a 17th century building on the Herengracht 180. And yeah, it's a beautiful building, but unfortunately, like they had just, everything was just painted white, and it has beautiful marble like staircase and marble floors and everything, but it has now been converted into offices, and the experience walking into that space originally was just going from that canal, like going from the canal into your office. And so they asked us to turn it into an art piece. So they commissioned us to come up with an idea for the space. And we thought, oh, that's interesting, like a 4-story art piece. Like, what can we do with that? And a lot of our work is about challenging people's perception. We believe that if you can change the way someone sees something through art or through design, they also have the opportunity to see the world differently because your brain starts to learn to look at things in different ways. So we thought, okay, let's play with this idea, and we created this we basically painted the whole building into these geometric forms that would create this illusion of other spaces within the space. And it's been inspired by what they call witjes. So they're like tiles, different shades of white that they would use in the past because maybe financially it was cheaper to use like different shades than trying to find the same shade. So we took inspiration from this idea and we created this sort of interpretation of witjes in the space.
A nice Dutch financial angle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sounds great. The pictures are amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Lovely to meet you.
Bye-bye.